it
recap.
is.
Happy Saturday.
Hello.
Hello.
So, to recap the
Recap.
questionable levels of trauma from last time.
Don't worry about it.
Oh gosh,
A
I
lot
don't
of
know.
trauma. Just a lot of trauma.
Pretty much. Fervus is working on a bomb, chuck it. That fires 2 bombs at once.
Yes.
Tor and Tyr make a friend. Its name is Tormal. It is a very good boy and a very nice kitty. And it is very, very, very big. And has saber teeth. Surprise. Xenia makes godly French toast. Rosalind's planning a cavern glow garden at some point. The ceremony of the Blue Eye is at the Gathering tonight. Tin and Tor are gonna participate. Rosalind might as well. Ashta's gonna stand outside of it. Anyhow, some of us go down there earlier on for the Gathering, just to walk around, hang out for a bit. Fervus is hallucinating from sleep deprivation and sees Elder Farron messing with his stuff and talking down to him. Gathering news, the evacuation of Valeri has been kind of approved, the aid for them has been approved, it's beginning now, Goblinoids are going to also take some of them in, so that has begun. Esther went to talk to Leo about the Phoenix problem and trying to take care of that. Leo needs proof of safe passage into Peduncle before agreeing to try anything, because that seems like a really good way for a Zodiac to get absolutely murdered.
The entire time.
Yep. Esther sells some surplus stuff for profit. Some of the group goes down to the Gathering. As I said before, we spot the bad poetry drow, and Xenia goes to fight and ends up getting him tossed out of the Gathering because he's not sponsored by anybody, and B, he was handing out very incendiary pamphlets. Like, the crowd almost sets him on fire, sort of incendiary once they realize what they say.
Leo's a bitch.
Yep. And then we find slow-acting scorpion poison in the pomegranates. And the merchant of the fruit stall is down. He was stung by several. A whole bunch of healers were working on them. There was evidence of a spell cast there, and Bo was spotted. He vanished through a doorway, seemed to portal away when Xenia went to follow with Esther. At that point, I think Ashta and Esther went to talk to the council. Xenia and Rosalind went back up to the castle for safety. No, Thorn stayed with the other two to basically provide a input link beyond just the Fane. They ask everyone to keep an eye open, knowing about Bo and knowing that he's got a wish scroll. Or at least he had a wish scroll. Unknown if he's keeping it or if it went to someone else. We are given pretty much a private, safe session of the Blue Eye ritual to the group. Esther talks to Ashta about it on the way to meet with the others. As I said before, Ashta is not going to partake, but I'm pretty sure he's going to stand guard while everybody else faces some inner demons. And that's where we left off.
Alright. So, unless anyone has any last minute prep they want to make.
Ah! I was muted. 1 second. I was making a joke. Shit. Bo putting scorpions in a basket of fruit and then leaving is the D&D equivalent of a ding-dong ditch.
It's much, much worse.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's the
I don't-
ditch of, like, putting
It's like
glue-
if you did Ding Dong Ditch, but like you rang the doorbell, they opened the door, the guy stabbed you and then ran away.
It's the D&D equivalent of like chemical terrorism. So chemical terrorism.
Yeah, chemical terrorism. Yeah, I think that's what we call it.
It's like in like country towns when kids take ding dong ditch, but they fill like a sack with like manure and then they light it on fire. So when the person opens the door and they stamp out the sack, they get covered in it. That's
Except
what that is.
with murder, so chemical terrorism.
Chemical terrorism. Yeah, it's
I think
chemical
it-
terrorism.
Would it
I
be
think it's
national
more of a-
terrorism?
Their
it's
doorbell.
Let's call a spade a spade. It's
of D&D, but like the kiddie pool is a bathtub and it's full of acid.
Doorbells
yeah,
in this
chemical
universe.
terrorism. Let's call a spade here.
Here are my 15 commandment. Here are my 10 commandments.
No.
Do doorbells exist?
No.
Spell exists.
I mean, rings exist, so why not make a ring doorbell?
Stop.
No.
Anyhow,
Doorbell.
We are a D&D party of 5 years.
I'm gonna
this is
invent
why.
This is
You're-
proof.
And this is why it took 5 years after flying Ariel.
Yes.
That's fair. I'll give you that. So, unless anyone else has anything they want to do in preparation before the ritual,
Also, Conrad,
yes.
out of curiosity, if I am in a fight with somebody and they are wounded and I can see inside their wound, can I cast a visual?
The inside of someone is not a cavity. I have had this discussion before. There is almost nowhere in your body in which there is no piece of open air there, including your lungs. Your lungs are closer to sponges, as you well know. Therefore, you cannot consider any part of the human body a container unless they have a different physiology of the average person.
Furthermore, there
But
are
I
multiple spells
mean-
that make the differentiation between living material and non-living material, and the general assumption that you could use it on other ones is not far-fetched.
But if I have a spell, right, and it says place this wherever you so desire, I desire it to be inside a man's ribcage. Can I do that?
As long as it is a place you can see, and again, inside someone's ribcage is not a place unless you've cast like disintegrate or something and remove their organs. In which case, I think the fireball is excessive.
Lovely.
And generally, it's good. A love. Okay.
The best chance you have is inside someone's mouth.
Good to know.
What about, like,
And that's like, it's in someone's mouth so long as a witch has cast a spell on them that they'll instantly die if their tongue touches the side of their mouth. Because that's the only position that the mouth could be open enough.
Screaming or looking upwards. Your tongue stays down.
So, Rosalind, you know the fly spell, right? You want to be a real quick distraction?
I think
Is
Rosalind
this the
still
equivalent
knows
of tossing
the
the
fly
dodgeball
spell.
near and hit them in the face?
Pardon me?
Is this the equivalent of tossing the dodgeball in the air and then punching them in the face?
Pretty much.
what are we doing?
Wait, can we start the session?
Technically, we have started the session.
Can we actually
No,
start
we
the session?
haven't.
Technically, we have. I'm assuming Esther is not asking this because she plans to immediately commit murder.
No, not yet.
In that case, we will jump right to the ritual. So-
Okay, fast forward.
Yep. So you guys are instructed to come wearing loose, comfortable clothes, basically, and nothing restricting. Most of
Ashta
you
shows up in armor.
Of course. Ashta is kind of exempt from most of the requests,
Mhm.
as per Ashta.
It's just a bit of a sore thumb in the group is all.
I mean, as per Ashta. Deeming that is technically a possibility if you'd like.
They won't, but they're not wearing a shirt.
Okay. So you all approach into one of the bone tents, which I'm realizing now is a horrible name for this. One of the structures built of the stone and bones of the earth, as per the name of the section of Genasi that you were being gathered by. And inside, as before, is the seer, the empath. Shit. Which one did I say it was?
It
Was it
was
the
the
seer?
seer. Seer.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So, she welcomes you as before. You notice that she's wearing what's a little bit, what could like loosely be called like a shirt. The sleeves are kind of those TV monk sleeves, where you could probably fit like someone's head inside of it. They're so long. But it is designed with the kind of standard designations of someone of her stature and position in the Genasi people. And sitting in the center of the, I mean, that's up to you, Xenia. In the center of the room is just what's basically a small tea kettle. Basically sitting over what looks to be just a very small set of coals. You see that it's not lit right now, but it could very quickly be lit and heated up. As each of you enter the room, she basically asks you to come in one at a time, so that she can just make sure you all were ready for it. Each of you are asked if you are above the age of maturity, of which she takes one look at you first and just, you, unfortunately, are not old enough to participate yet.
Right.
But if you would like to join, you may. You just cannot partake.
Or you can run guard with me.
I think I have something I want to do instead. And he's going to go back up, and he's going to continue working on the launcher.
All right. Because
Call me if you need anything.
We will.
The Firebirds and that are still on, like, Oni alert, right?
yes. Yeah.
Alright.
In the meantime, as each of you enter, you get this like strong scent of sage. Clearly, it was burnt recently, and used to cleanse the hut. And you were each also asked as you enter if you are pregnant. I'm going to assume that everyone answers no. Unless Rosalind just tell me.
Rosalind isn't messing with them, though.
Asher would like to punch at the GM.
Ashta or Devin?
Nothing wrong.
No, Asher.
The GM has done nothing wrong.
No, he's
GM
he's
knows
right.
what he's done.
This was an important thing to ask.
Esther, do you have something you want
It's the notes that Sky gave me.
Yes, this was in the rules.
to include in
Just
the
like
Rosalind
the
comment?
18 thing.
Mhm.
Say again?
Include in the Rosalind's comment?
Well, no, the thing with being asked if they're pregnant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just know that Esther isn't, and I know that Xenia isn't. And I'm assuming that neither Tinted or Kotornik are, so.
Nope. How would Never mind.
Want to punch the GM?
Ah!
Damn it.
I rolled a punch the GM.
This campaign has so many limitations.
Your fetishes out of it, Conrad.
We have 2 ways. My 2 ways to stay. I will mute you for this session, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
I hate that the running joke of this of multiple campaigns is that I have an MPreg fetish. It's very upsetting.
What the fuck is wrong
sorry.
with you?
I'm sorry,
And
what?
that, ladies and gentlemen, is a man digging his own grave for saying it outright.
I'm leaving.
I didn't fucking know that, but okay.
I'm getting out of
Yep.
here.
Yeah, no, yes, Guy. He confided in us this one time.
No.
What?
I had one
Okay.
character ask a question. That was
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Here's the thing, though.
No, you
I
have to
know
have a character
Conrad.
about the character.
And I know Conrad pretty goddamn well, and I don't believe you saying that, but at the same time, that's fucking funny.
Wait, don't believe me or don't believe them?
I don't know if I know.
I don't believe them. I know you well enough, Conrad,
I
to
was
know
kind
that
of-
that's a lie. But by God, is it funny?
And this is how we started the emotionally charged session.
God.
Behold, I have successfully emotionally punched the GM.
I would like to cut
I
back
rolled a punch the
5
GM.
minutes ago when John went, when Devin went, can we start the session?
We
Here's
don't
why-
torch from them.
So, as you each are settled into the ceremony, the seer takes a seat on like a foot-tall stool, just enough to have a view of all of you without any kind of impediment of something in the way. And she basically hands out a bunch of blankets for everyone and encourages you all to take some room and not be near anyone who you would not want to be particularly close to or like touching if you were in a non-lucid state, depending on everyone's comfort. With this, she also explains that there is a you were given 1 blanket. It's not a speed run. It's a
My
speed
ba-
run.
I have my bag of holding full of 200 pillows.
Oh my God,
No.
no!
She also basically points out that around the room there are a number of things, little instruments, drums, bells, things you can use to basically entertain yourself when you're not lucid. And that this is a ceremony to be enjoyed as well as confronted. The oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna type it.
Oh no, I'm concerned, but as you guys get to see, she explains that. So we ask that those of you of particularly powerful constitution allow the ability to take effect. This is mostly a hallucinatory mental effect, so those of you who are intelligent or have resistance to poison probably could resist it if you would like, but your intent is part of this. Hold on, I'm getting a knock on the door.
Oh my god.
Oh, if Samstruck, if you pull out the drum, Esther's gonna reach into her bag of holding and pull out a violin.
Oh, that thing looks real fancy there.
You had that.
The whole time?
Since I was 12.
Have you both had instruments on you since we've met you?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Tin, I'm guessing, Esther, can you both play those instruments?
I'm double checking my verbal one second.
I haven't played in a little while, but I could give it a shot.
Oh yeah, the Fae like to hear music, so we played it a lot.
Oh yeah, I got some of them too. And he pulls out a series of complicated looking pipes.
Okay, I
Bagpipe.
I know this is pan flute, but listen, it's not, okay? It got changed.
Yes. Yes.
I
Esther,
don't know how well that check does.
that violin sounds clearly like a pan flute. Impressive.
Stop.
No.
It's a violin. No, I just haven't really had the chance to use it.
Hey,
Didn't really. I had no reason to play music for a long time.
that's bagpipe?
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
kind of
wait. No, oh my God, are they
Yeah.
actually bagpipes?
I don't think that's the proper term.
Not
Pipe.
bagpipes.
Definitely.
Windpipes.
It's what do you call them there? I think it's Ualian. How do you say it in common? Looks over to his sister.
Oh, I don't really know what it is in common. I got a Boran.
I have not seen those Fae instruments, but they're very cool.
Oh, it's not a Fae instrument, no.
Do we have an image of what these look like?
Like union pipes.
I'd like to know
Oh, it's
Julian pipes.
the sentence of this
oh,
characteristic national bagpipe of Ireland.
They're Lentialan bagpipes.
oh,
Well,
Conrad.
No,
Listen,
we brought these things from our home.
Oh yeah.
They've been with us too a lot.
Okay.
I'd like to be able to play a little bit with you if you got a bit of time, or maybe during all of this if we got a little bit of our brains to us.
Oh, we will. Don't worry about that.
I don't like
The
that.
first 2 hours, it's going to be some of the best feelings you've ever had. And then we will get into the nitty-gritty of the reason as to why this is taken.
Sure, I'll hold that first statement to you. I'll hold you to that first statement.
You'll enjoy it.
as the seer kind of zones back in from like looking in another dimension.
Also, real quick, I did the violin check. It's not a pan flute, it's a violin. Shut up. How well did that do, Conrad?
I think reasonably well for someone who knows how to play it. Nothing absolutely expert. Oh no!
And
And then Tim shatters your eardrums.
Oh no,
Drum?
that hold on, that I got a little bit of rusty there.
Well, that's okay.
And then just
Well, you had your proficiency, don't you?
Yeah, I added my proficiency. I've got a -1 charisma, assuming it's performance. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's dexterity or something. Then it would be a very different story.
It would be performance.
I'd argue for dexterity on a bow run, but sure.
I would argue there is no dexterity that can make that sound better. We were talking about the bagpipes, right?
No, a bow run.
What? Once
a
again,
frame
our
drum.
equipment is
Alright.
fucked.
I don't know how to explain to you that I don't know what that word is.
There, I can't look it up right now because I'm recording and I can't, like, open a new tab or anything. Look up that word. Look up that word. It's one of those frame drums that, they're held close to the body, and you get a little, like, bone, the percussion
okay.
part, and it kind of
Ah.
would dug across the, frame and edge, the surface and edge of the drum.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
In that case, Tornuk, blast your eardrums. As I don't think there's any way to play that instrument quietly.
Probably not.
We're in a
Guys,
tent.
oh, your music is
What are the
amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, well, Purvis has gone up to do more on the thing, but
But John can comment.
Yeah.
John can comment.
Purpose hasn't
John
been
can be an
gone that
annoying
long.
fucking.
Yes.
Purpose has been
Also-
gone, like, long enough to get to the platform, probably, and probably hears a from behind.
Valid. Also,
Sarah at this point starts waving her hands like, okay, please.
John can be an annoying fucking peanut gallery. It's fine.
This is I would like to remind you, a spiritual ceremony.
There's like a tune that goes like, oh.
We ask that you at least partake before you begin playing the instruments.
Oh, yeah.
Might I ask, those who have magical pets, will they be partaking?
Oh, no, not the Ascari. No, he might get a little bit loopy. I'm not sure what's in there that he can't eat. Hey, armor guy, the grumpy one. Could you watch after this little one while we're doing this? Make sure he doesn't get
what?
squished. No, here. Let me just hold out your hands. I'm gonna deposit
Uh.
a furry noodle in Ashton's gauntleted palms.
oh, Rayla's gonna lose her fucking shit.
It's just like,
Your perception is high enough that you can feel Rayla trying to wriggle out of your pocket.
and there's just quick like knock on the chest plate, like stirring there, and he just like gives a look and just with the ranger stuff, just like says hello to the little noodle.
He kind of chitters happily at you and starts like running and jumping into your armor basically and trying to climb through your clothes.
I love
Rosalind's on the side
Ratatouille.
cackling.
Except at Ashta.
You feel him at one point nestle somewhere like sitting like the base of your back and just kind of curl up inside the armor where it curves a little bit.
I imagine like Esha is like walking there on like lookout, and then like from the left side of his collar pops out Yaskari, on the right side's Rayla, just like two little lookout sentries.
And thorn on the top of his head.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Absolutely.
So, as the seer finishes explaining basically the effect of the drugs, she asks you all to try to settle into a more relaxed mindset. One where you're kind of, as if you were expecting to consider a possibility that you might not like, but you're open to.
Oh, I do that all the time, and Tor just like knocks out and like, too much.
And as you all kind of, with varying degrees of success and relaxation, enter that stage, you're each handed a cup of tea, and are asked to drink it quickly, as it is quite bitter. And at that point, too,
Esther takes it like a fucking shot.
yep, it's not a very large cup of tea, to be fair.
I know, but she's done this before. She knows what it tastes like.
Yep. And I ask, does anyone attempt to resist the effects?
Hell no.
Nah.
Tor is outright immune to poison. How does that work?
Again, you can choose to be affected by it.
Okay, can he like turn that on and off?
Yeah, it's not necessarily a poison. It's if you generally have a high constitution or high intelligence, you are able to resist this if you want to.
Okay.
Um,
He'll just like keep a dial on it. He'll let it go for the first bit though.
So, for the first like half an hour, you all are basically just encouraged to chat, discuss, hang out, play music if you want to. Though you're asked basically not to play the bagpipes as they're very, very loud and disruptive.
Sad toot.
Is it the instrument, or is it a different sound the Tornik made?
It's the instrument.
Okay. Okay, while a very fair point, Ariel.
What?
It's a very valid assessment. It's just a very bit of a mouthful of a name.
I want to try this again.
So
Yeah. Oh, same thing. Fuck.
the drugs have made you no better nor worse at this instrument.
That's fair.
You also know they have not taken effect yet, which might be part of the problem. However, after about half an hour, you guys start to feel that not quite fuzz, but for those of you who have drank a good amount, that kind of disconnect between your senses and your ability to process messages you get. The kind of distance from your eyes, the fact that, oh, you can like really feel your fingers right now. The general change.
In other words, you're high as balls.
Yes, to put it politely. With that, you do each slowly begin to start seeing patterns. Hear things. Some of you feel like a pair of warm arms wrapping around your shoulders, a hand slowly pressing against your cheek, a pair of lips on your forehead, just general sensations of your skin being activated where you know there's nothing really there, but your brain is grabbing onto something to just explain what that feeling is. You reach at one point, do get asked by your Fane of like, oh, this is distinctly uncomfortable, but pleasant.
Rosalind's gonna ask her Fane to go offline.
I think he's gonna be like, you guys can turn off if you want.
Esther will give them the option to experience it or not to.
We are curious to see what will happen if we stay going.
Go off, cuz.
Go for it.
Well, Rosalind can't fault curiosity.
You know, it's scholarly.
Mm-hmm.
For the next hour and a half, it is just much of this. These hallucinations of sensation as opposed to of perception. These geometric patterns. Some you see, some you can feel, some almost feel like a rhythm pounding your ears. None of it of particular unpleasantness, and if anything occurs or is brought up by a party member, I encourage you to mention it.
At one point, Esther is going to get up and start to dance.
And you just like goes on their back.
Good.
He just like goes on their back and just starts waving their arms like a wacky wavy balloon thing.
Esther,
Wacky wavy arm flailing tube man.
Yeah. I didn't want to say the full thing, but yeah.
actually, you kind of watch Xenia kind of turn into a windsock on the ground.
God.
You see Rayla at one point when the seer's not paying attention, kind of dancing between her fingers and just kind of enjoying themselves.
He's watching, he's keeping an eye out, and there might be a thing he smiles at now and again, but there's also like a very consistent click of one of his gauntlets, just kind of like repeatedly moving his hand, as part of him's like not super cool with impaired like senses and stuff like that, but he's trying to fight that down.
Yep. At one point, the seer kind of steps aside while everyone's enamored in some discussion about how unbelievably soft mink fur is.
Oh yeah, that was
And-
the whole problem. You see, there was people that yeah. What were we talking about?
The
again?
war.
Oh yeah, the war.
Minkor was about blanket.
Well, kind of, and scarves and gloves and stuff, and they.
I
didn't
get that
care.
cruelty.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a mink.
You're not a mink.
Oh, I don't know. You got some really nice hair there.
Does it feel like a mink? Like, does the hair feel?
Great big hand on top of your head. Pat, pat, pat. Oh, I don't know. It's mink fur is a lot shorter and not so curly, but it
Maybe
is
I'm
still nice.
Maybe I'm a Fey mink.
Well, that's kind of what a Yaskare is, I think, by now. It's because of the lightning and all.
Oh yeah.
Wait, is he a lightning mink?
Oh yeah, pretty much. He didn't have to. He didn't have the thing down his back before the lightning, and then after, he did.
He got it like the rest of us. He was on us at the time.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
And with that, the seer kind of takes you aside, Ashta, and just, are you alright?
I'm good.
Not a fan of watching something like this?
Sure.
I assume you would rather be attentive than try to have me relax you, right?
Yep.
Very well. I do have some coffee if you would like. This is going to take a few hours,
I'll be good.
and it's going to get intense over the next few, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Just know that if you at any point feel you need to intervene, I do have spells that can end this effect. But we try to avoid doing it.
You're the expert on this, aren't you?
Yes, I've hosted maybe not a few hundred, but close to it, of ceremonies like this. It's a calm place to be around friends while you retreat into your own mind and confront what might be there, but still have the physical grounding of others around. It's no poison like alcohol, nothing like that. Simply a different activation of the mind. Arguably the same as illusion magic.
There's like a twinge on the face, like, I'm sure that would help ease other people's worries.
She smiles and just pats your arm and just, if at any point you need to step out, I can have some of the warriors of the tribe come here and watch over for a few minutes while you get some air.
I'll be here. I'll be fine.
Right. She at least offers you a full-size chair to sit in.
Yeah, he will, and he will stand up and sit down occasionally.
At a point, Rosalind will call over to him and just, Ashta, could I ask you to do something?
Sure. Yeah.
I keep feeling like I'm holding your hand, but it's not there. Could you? And she holds out her hand to him.
And he walks over and kind of like shifts the gauntlet off a bit and puts the hand in hers.
And she'll grip it and just, that's much better, thank you. I was disappointed
one
every
point-
time I looked down and it was empty.
There's an awe from Rayla in the distance.
There's like a zip tie around Ash's heart, and he just kind of like.
Like trying to break out of the handcuffs. At some point, each of you individually, maybe not find is the right word, but end up with Rayla in your hair, just like gently massaging your scalp, and it is a lovely feeling. As she kind of makes the rounds.
Oh, dude. Bless.
I think
At
what
some- Huh? So go ahead.
Rayla does it, and he's like mumbling about Sammy.
Yep.
Valid.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, Rosalind, you start kind of running your hand along Thorn's scales, and just the kind of bumpiness and rigidity of each of them just kind of encapsulates your entire focus for about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
What you were saying, Esther?
Oh, just at one point, Esther would want to just kind of, I guess, twirl over to Rosalind and sit down in front of her and just, are you doing okay?
Rosalind doesn't look up from where she's got Ashta's still gauntleted hand kind of between her fingers and is slowly, like, encouraging his fingers to curl in and then uncurl, just to watch the plates move. I think I'm doing a bit better.
Good. I know it can be a bit of a shock for those who go through this the first time.
It's a bit like dreaming, I think. But being aware that you're dreaming. I. It helps having something to hold on to.
Opens your eyes. That's the secret. You see things you don't want to see. And you feel things you don't normally feel. And then, and then, and then. She kind of stares at the ground for a second and just. Ashta, your shoes are shiny.
He's shiny in general.
He is!
How shiny is he?
He's shiny! He's like,
He has shiny wings.
Zing's back like flops over and just like looks up and Ashley says, "Holy shit, you're tall."
he is. Look at
It
him.
sends the biggest chill down her spine out of anything.
Look, he's Ashta, Ashta. This important, okay? Just listen. She's still staring at your shoes and just kind of takes both hands and just places her hands over the metal caps on your shoes and just, I got it.
Yeah.
And then she'll kind of lift up her hands and just, I didn't get it. I got it. I didn't get it. And just over and over, over.
Xenia starts looking for what Esther's trying to catch.
She's trying to catch the light reflecting off his fucking shoe.
Xenia tries to help her catch it a couple times.
For the briefest of moments, you feel like a cat at a party full of introverts, just being like scratched and like stroked by a number of strange beings who you don't fully understand, but you know that are friendly.
Who?
just you. It's kind of, for a second, just your perception is just like, oh, this is probably what a cat feels like. Sometimes.
Sudden
Ashton-
understanding.
Ashton, I'm lucky to tell you that I have discovered I am no fae. I am a mink. I've made this deep discovery, so you don't gotta be all fae.
You're not a mink. You're a minx.
What's a minx?
A sexy beast.
Esther, you're not yummy.
No, I'm not.
I thought
love
you
you.
were.
Hmm?
I thought you were, but you're not.
Not what?
My girlfriend.
No. Sam. I'm not a girlfriend. Wait.
You're. Is Garil your girlfriend?
I mean, he is pretty.
He is.
Yeah. I've never asked.
Rosalind, is Ashta your girlfriend?
Mm. Mm. She just kind of leans against him.
Aww. Look at you two girlfriends. Just gals being pals.
I had a girlfriend.
You did.
I did. And now I don't.
You never really knew her name. That's
No.
kind of.
I mean, I'm just going through some things.
I think you had a phase. I don't want to be exclusionist or anything. But,
No.
like, aren't, like, the ones who are kind of evil, kind of sexy?
Yeah.
No.
Rosalind, you fell for Rough and Grumble.
That's different.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Rosalind,
Hmm?
look at me, and Xenia will flop onto their back and just, I'm swooning.
Wait, Ashta, you weren't supposed to tell anyone.
I didn't.
Tell us what? What? Tell us what? Tell us what? Who swooned? Did you swoon?
No?
Lie!
Believe you.
How good is your insight under this influence?
How good is your deception?
That's the question.
Both of you roll a disadvantage, I guess. I apologize. I told you didn't need to Rosalind's cheek, but
That's okay, I know what her score is.
Can I use spells in this state?
no.
Okay.
Fuck you.
Oh no, Rosalind! Oh no, Rosalind! Yeah.
Swoon for Ashta.
You swoon?
Oh, no. Did Ashta swoon for you?
That's even better.
Aw. I love you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And this general feeling of euphoria and foolishness continues for a while. Tintic and Tornik seem a bit more at peace with it than I think the rest of the party would. Probably slightly more familiar with stuff like this.
Things are going alright. I'm not too bothered by this.
Just on the concept of swooning, Esther's gonna look to Roz and just like, it's okay. It's okay. I was in love with someone since the age of 5. It's okay. You can swoon, Rosalind. It's okay.
Esther, swoon for me. And she like opens her arms.
And Esther very dramatically, with the blanket around the shoulders, fluffs out the blanket so it drapes off and just collapses in Xenia's arm. Like hand on the forehead, arm outstretched.
Save the people of the world in each other's arms. They make kiss. Like you just
Yeah. You feel Esther's hair kind of like tickling your hand, and it is the most unbelievable feeling.
Is this what hair feels like?
Yes. Yes. It does. It does.
Oh, Goreel's lucky.
In the
Yes.
meantime,
Yes, he is.
Rosalind,
Mm-hmm.
just looking at different ability scores, you probably would be the first to enter the next stage.
I was
of the
actually gonna have her turn to Ashton and go, I wanna fight a demon now, I'm gonna take a nap. And just slump against him, so yeah. She's down.
And the Seer at this point actually walks over and he puts a hand on your shoulder of like, this may be stressful to hear, but she will be okay. She's just dreaming.
There's another twitch on the face, like, I appreciate the sentiments of trying to make me feel better.
Not trying to make you feel better. I'd just rather you be informed. I know you don't want to be in the dark here. So, Rosalind, you feel yourself fall asleep. Again, not quite, but it's the closest analogy you have to this feeling of descent past your own ability to see and hear the outside world. It's like they're all standing on the side of a relatively thick wall that you know that if you took the time to either push through or walk around, you could find them again. But they're distant from you. And for a moment, it's just kind of dark. There's this slight red underglow, like the very edges of a sunset, giving you enough vision to recognize that you're somewhere, maybe not underwater, but somewhere that probably needs a good scrubbing. There's this dampness to the world. Your feet kind of squelch in mud. The sky above you has this patterned texture kind of like looking at the sunset over an ocean and seeing the ripples in the waves. You begin to kind of walk. Not really sure where you are, not getting any further or closer from the wall of your friends, but still more comfortable with that feeling of moving. Sitting still just doesn't seem appropriate here. There's clearly something not right. And you hear first in the voice of your father. Distantly at first, unable to catch the words right away until you move closer into what sounds like the right direction. And as you get there, you see him quietly sitting over a mug that contains an ale, most likely. It's usually a light one after a long day, and, he's never particularly bad with it, but the look on his face shakes that belief a little bit. He looks haunted, worried, deeply unsettled. You see he's sitting across him on this low table, glowing with that same red light. Samser. Looking exhausted, but pensive. Listening intently as he kind of mutters and speaks to himself. I don't know. I know she has gods. I know she's capable. I know she has magic now. Or at least, so Issa says. But I can't help but worry. I've lost enough people, Samster, you know this. I don't know if I could handle losing her. She's the best part of me. The proudest thing I ever helped develop. Even if she isn't physically part of me. Some part of me still sees her as this little girl dressing up like princesses and trying to find a knight to carry her off into battle, but always having to be carried back by Issa because the other knight was just simply not valorous enough to compare to her. It's this like wry smile on his face. See Samser almost pat his shoulder. She's capable, but naive. She's never confronted something like this before. Never confronted herself like this before, if I had to guess. She's young, inexperienced, and fragile. You're right to worry. And the Duke kind of just looks to her, and you see them both kind of melt, disappear from your ability to see them.
Just a little. Father?
You see what might be his reflection in the kind of water in front of where they were standing.
I'm fine. I'll be fine. I'm not helpless. I'm not alone.
As you look closer at that puddle that seems to reflect his face, it's more gaunt than it should be. His hair is grayer. His eyes yellow. Once more in this kind of reflection, he's speaking not to anyone you can see, but just a little bit off to the side of where you are. Please, if anyone who knows how to cast Sending is nearby, I need to see her. Please. Just one more time. I know I don't have much time left. I know the healers can't do it, but please, anyone, can you call her to me? I need to see my little girl just once more. Please?
And there's into the puddle. I'm here. I'm here.
You see him kind of looking around as you say this. Rosalind? I hear you. Please, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you.
Where are you? Please
I'm-
come here.
I'm right here. She tries reaching into the puddle.
As you do so, your hand kind of sinks in, and your head and shoulders kind of follow, and you tumble into this different realm. No longer dimly lit and damp, but instead it's bright, almost too much so. There's a clandestine white that hurts the eyes to even focus on. You see standing in front of you a tall figure. He has vague features that remind you of Ashta, but none of the relaxing ones. The same harsh eyes, the same hands covered in scars, the same coldness behind his eyes that you are especially familiar with when you first met him. The grimace that looks almost like it's painted on him, like there's no removing it. And the voice echoes out from around you, his mouth doesn't even open. So, this is where you ended up. You were surrounded by friends at the end, if it helps. Not many can say the same.
Ashta?
You see the face harden. Speak not that name.
Are you the Watcher?
No. I am your guide, I suppose. Though there's nowhere really for you to go. Your time here has ended. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
Wait, what?
You see him place a bowl in front of you. A scrying bowl. And as you look into it, you see yourself at the gathering. Just a few hours ago. Pomegranate tumbling out of your hand as you drop to the ground, clutching at your throat. You see Ashta trying to channel magic and it not coming to his fingertips. You see Xenia summoning spells that seem to be building up into something. And then Bow's glaive pierces them from behind. And the battle draws them away from you. As you stay on the ground, clutching your throat. And you see the fight coming close to an end, but you know that you're not going to make it. And at the last second, Bow escapes. The wounded party struggles their way over to you, Xenia having to get dragged over for trying to force a potion down their throat. Eventually they wake up and come to you, and you reach out towards Ashta, and you see your head fall as your vision goes black. Not a peaceful death, but surrounded by those who loved you.
No, that's not what happened. I remember the merchant. I was fine. There was...
Nonetheless, you are here. So, let's go over your options. You see a chair kind of appear next to you. He sits down on one as well as the table goes between you. It looks vaguely reminiscent of when you were speaking to the doves. To the underground network. So, you are not fair enough to enter our Vandor, but that's not uncommon. No celestial blood, no Genasi reincarnation. Well, do you have any heritage that would lend you an afterlife of your preference?
I don't. This isn't real. This can't be real.
There's no shame in it. There is an economy of souls, and it is no small part to be a piece of it. You, due to your deeds in life, will at least be a piece of one of the celestial planes. We make up the matter that creates it. Maybe if you're lucky, someone will try to call you back. But it would be difficult for you to return. What's the nature of the planes right now? So, I will give you time to accept that there is nothing else for you.
What about the rest of them?
Well, I can always show you where they ended up. Time has little meaning here. Look into the bowl again.
And she will look.
As you do, you see the final battle. Maybe not the one you expected. You see Bo once more, riding on a horse of shadows, glaive in his hand. You see Ashta standing right where he's going to run. The Oni slaying bolt loaded into his crossbow and fire it directly into his chest. You see the bolt tear his essence apart, but the glaive keeps going, strapped to the arm of Bo as he disintegrates, and it pierces through Ashta through the neck. You see, in the distance, Xenia, fighting off some figure, with 8 legs and a massive skull, wrapped up in webs and seemingly unable to escape as the mandibles bite down onto their neck. Fergus, you see desperately looking into his potion belt, trying to find something, anything that will help. And one of the creations explodes in his hand. And you see him blinded, stumbling around until some arrow takes him in the back. And Esther, a maelstrom of flame, seemingly burning herself up to destroy whatever was here that they were fighting. It shifts, and you see Ashta standing before a council of figures, some of which look like the one who was showing you this image. You see him being judged as conflicted but worthy once more of his immortality. You see him take place at a set of gates. On one side, lush forest. On the other side, seemingly similarly blindingly white halls with a gold archway, and with Lucy at his feet. You see a young elf that has the same eyes as Xenia, same hair, seemingly being raised by Sammy, with Issa much older in the background, and an older Yenben as well, helping take care of them. You see Esther. For a moment, she's kind of ghostly, looking up at this massive phoenix of a scale that you can't even comprehend through the bowl. As she bows her head, she melts into the chest of the phoenix. Fervus you see as, again, reincarnated. A young Earth Genasi, those same molten eyes that he has. That same grin he gets on his face as he shows you guys a new invention. And seemingly a cook of some kind, mixing together spices with the same bravado that you see him mixing alchemy. You see Issa, old and distant. You see the half-moons appear in her eyes, a sign that some god has taken to her to claim her soul. And you see the Duke, closing his eyes one final time. And standing by him is a dark elf, as they cut his throat. You see the soul drip into the weapon, and you see Essence's body dissipate from it. Again, not peaceful deaths, but worthy reincarnations.
Can I never see them again?
There is nothing more. You humans were never claimed by a god. I am simply a minister. But that is what gives you such strength. You lived a worthy life. The war still ended. Not as quickly, not as peacefully as if you had lived. But it could not have gone this way without you. Come. Be at peace. He puts a hand out to you. And from what you feel, a distant connection, a distant anger. The scrying bowl out of the corner of your eye, you see Ashta looking around. You see him arguing with someone. Inside the bowl, you see him arguing with the same figure who has his hand out to you. You see the aggressive posture, his willingness to do something. Something you fear he might regret. But you also don't feel that you're out of control. There's still this part of your mind, you're not sure if it's the Fane. But something is telling you this is not all that there is. So, what do you do?
So I see Ashta in the scrying bowl, arguing.
Yep. As if it were through a scrying spell.
You know what? She already went through one puddle. She's going to look between the bowl, the guide, the bowl, and then dart towards it and try to reach through to get to him.
You see Ashta still in argumentative state, and you see that same figure, but on the other side of the bowl. Look at you, with this look of fury on his face. You see Ashta's lies land on you. He says a word, and you see Lucy appears in front of you, and his mane is within arm's reach of you. What do you do?
She tries to reach for Lucy's mane and grab hold of it.
As you grab hold, you watch as Lucy appears no longer as a horse, but as a displacer beast. Massive, with far more tails and strong of limb like no other is. All of a sudden, you hear Ashta clearly, where before he looked mostly silent, though you could see the yelling. And he just says, "Well, you died for me. I'll live for you." And in the kind of feline face of Lucy, he just looks back at you and says, "Welcome back, boss." In the meantime, Tornik.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, so this is the session.
Connor, can we just have like a small breather, please?
That's what
This will be
Tornik
the This is what Tornik is.
Holy fuck. Okay. 1 second. I accidentally pulled a hangnail and I have to fix it. Give me a minute. Just give me 5 fucking seconds before you start the next one.
Jesus Christ.
Go for it. This is why I love when my players turn to me and go, "Hey, you want to know how to mess up my character?"
Oh.
So I can't promise they'll all be that good, but I like how that one went.
Yeah, Rosalind might be, at least in the background, aware that of the party, she is the only one without a reincarnating soul.
Yeah. Well, the warlock stuff, that's going to be interesting in epilogue as well with her soul.
Yeah, well, she doesn't really know if there's anything to that, so.
Because, well, I don't know either, but her soul technically doesn't belong to her at the moment.
And further,
Technically, she never promised her soul.
Okay, I never knew the original thing. That was 3 years ago.
furthermore, the dream's not too far off. You're goddamn right. Ash is gonna break some fucking interdimensional bullshit.
Oh, we all knew that.
Mhm.
It's happened before. It's gonna happen again.
I mean, it's been a while since I got the whole party silent like that.
What?
It's been a while since I, like, through narrating, you all went perfectly quiet. Doesn't happen very often anymore.
To be fair, it's also very much for like a single character. So
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
So there is that.
So, usually there's a bit of peanut gallery.
Oh, Taurus really has a different vibe, does it, Conrad?
Yes.
So fuck.
Just let me know when you're back there, Sky.
I don't think she can.
Yeah, her mark marks are up.
That's a redundant statement.
Oh, so that's the easy one done.
That was.
Mm.
If Orgo told me, like, hey, one that would fuck up my character?
This is why I elected to face my demon head on and not hallucinate about it.
physically.
No, man.
I mean,
Physically fight him and kill him.
You're taking the Ashton method.
Yeah.
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 Taking after good old cousin Ashta.
Yeah, I just got quite a few post-game angels to strangle. It's gonna be fun.
You know what?
Oh yeah.
You know what? Can Xenia help? I wanna fight shit.
That sounds like an actionable plan.
They'll go. We'll like make the comprehensive list of what gods not to kill, and then we can just cross everything else off the list and go ham.
Well, no, it's basically I'm just gonna like go. I'm gonna do what I want. Anyone who says no, let's go.
He's gonna go like, well, I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm bored this week. Want to go to the Celestial Plains and fuck some shit up?
Hey Esther, ask if the Phoenix will let you in the driver's seat for a day.
So out of curiosity, there was the implication before the dream set in that Ashta would get some sort of inkling of what was going on, I think. Was there, like, Rosalind muttering out loud the things that she said during that?
Pretty much.
Probably.
Fun.
Fun.
Zach.
Ooh.
Hmm.
There's some retribution to be had.
There. So, with that, Tornik,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
you feel the drugs begin to take effect. It's not unpleasant, honestly. Your tongue feels like especially sensitive as well as your nose. Like you can taste anything you want. I'm pretty sure this is what dogs feel like all the time. And as you kind of again fall into that dreamlike state, you find yourself sitting in what's most likely the Feywild. Pretty sure. And there's just this massive creature sitting across at a dining table with a comically small bib and a tiny fork and knife in his hand. He's shaped vaguely crocodilian like with his like skin and face. But his arms and legs are Furbolg in shape. And he very carefully cuts a small piece off of a very large steak and puts his hand out about 1.5 feet just to get it into the front of his mouth. He looks at you and, please, take a seat.
Oh, thank you very much, there. Sit down.
So, I hear you've been having some difficulties lately. By the way, nice to meet you. I'm your inner demon.
Oh, nice to meet you. You know, I always thought so, but yeah, I think I got the shape right. It's not always easy to see it when you're, it's over you.
Well, it's not a big deal. I can appear as most things. Some people see it as dead parents or things they're afraid of, and crocodiles seem pretty scary.
I think so.
Yeah, so many teeth. It's so inefficient to eat this steak.
Hmm.
Imagine a steak, perfectly cooked, that no matter how much you chew, just doesn't ever get to a good texture.
Well, you're a real nightmare there, bud.
Right? You sure you can't imagine me as some other shape?
Hold on. Let's give it a try there. And he'll try like his like that very troll featured astral form of his.
And you see a large, gangly looking troll kind of appear in the scene, even bigger than the crocodile from before.
Hmm.
And still holding the same tiny fork and knife.
Mhm.
He cut the piece off the steak, puts it in his mouth. There's just loud chewing. He goes, "Oh, much more pleasant. Thank you."
Also, hold on. I'm pretty sure I can project those pretty easy, and he tries to get a bigger fork and knife for the guy.
You do so, and they appear in his hand, with little stars spangled on them. He says, "Oh, well, thank you very much." He takes a larger chunk out and bites it. You see the satisfied look on his face. Well, I'd call myself pretty defeated. How about you?
Hmm. I mean, what other good way to fight things up with a good meal?
Yeah.
And he looks down and picks up it, if there's a menu.
Yep, there is.
Yep.
You see the first thing on the menu is genius French toast.
Okay. Let's give a start with that, and maybe after, if I'm feeling, the rest of the menu.
All right.
And then
You
the
have a
actual.
pleasant meal with your demons.
Oh
And they
god,
work
what
with
a plot.
As they seem to be just mostly misunderstood. It's mostly just things of like, oh, you feel like you could have done this better, but you're like, no, I think I did pretty good.
Mhm.
Well, it's a great conversation. The dinner is wonderful.
He lights him a cigar.
By the end of it, you kind of settle back with a small mug of like a sweet fermented juice. And you kind of look at the sunset, and he goes, "Oh, I think we can get along now."
Oh yeah.
Maybe cheers as you.
Feel free to kind of swing in on my dreams or anything like that.
Oh, no need. I think you can handle it that way. And if you
All
want
right.
another meal, please.
Second, sorry.
If you ever want another meal that you don't have to cook, please come by.
Oh well, I'd be tempted to make you one myself. You gotta compare it to the dream food and my dream food, right?
Maybe that'll be our next argument. Who cooks a better steak?
Hey, there we go.
And as you drink with your inner demons, watching the sunset.
Jesus Christ.
He sneezes and snaps back to reality. Oh,
Basically.
I lost it.
I lost it. Oh fuck! I lost it.
I lost it there.
I was holding down the immunity there, but
Oh
yeah, it takes some effort.
fuck! Not again, lads.
Back on.
Oh, the session is such a joy. Actually, you watch as Tornik just seems to drool for about 20 minutes, and then sneezes and is just awake again.
Perfectly fine.
Lucid.
Very concerned for Rosalind. Very concerned for Rosalind. Glances over. What the fuck? Concerned for Rosalind. Concerned for Rosalind.
Basically. So,
I'm going to the washroom real quick.
yeah, go for it. So, Xenia, as Esther
Oh,
kind of,
fuck.
you kind of continue just like holding on to Xenia's hair and just enjoying how the flames feel licking against your fingertips.
Esther's.
Damn it, I said it backwards, didn't I?
Yep.
You feel Esther's hair kind of flicking across your fingertips. You feel the beginning of what almost feels like being communicated with a god.
There he goes. There they go.
He was just gonna go like, oh, there it is. Pass the fuck in.
And as you meme into the ethereal plane,
Wow.
Oh my god.
you
This is how I deal with my anxiety of this upcoming thing.
that's fair. At first you're like, oh, I'm clearly still hallucinating in the best part of the dream, because you are surrounded by, not very dressed, elves in throes of pleasure, to put it politely.
Oh god.
He just leans back, just like, this is a hallucination. That one is definitely Esther. That one is Rosalind. That one's probably Ash over there. Not bad.
That's it. That's the hallucination now. Train of thought has been.
Xenia has the best time out of anyone.
Ah,
No, that's still Tornik.
no, still Tor. Tor had food.
Tor had food, yeah, that's fair.
And as you kind of look around, still kind of caught up in whatever fervor brought you here,
I know what fervor brought me here.
there's this slight layer of disgust. You feel yourself trying to suppress it, but there's this distaste for what's around you, for the decadence. You know that there should be something else that you're doing, something time sensitive.
Something is getting in the way of me being a whore right now. What the fuck is it?
Just Esther hearing that across the tent from Xenia.
Still holding Esther in her arms.
I made food for everyone. Oh fuck, saving the world.
And as you kind of get that feeling, that shit, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. That like, oh fuck, homework was due an hour ago. Kind of instant fear.
Fuck my Dropbox.
Everyone else just disappears. You're left in this cold Arctic ice. This landscape of dirty snow. Winds are cutting through what little clothes you have on. You're in this almost smock. And you can feel your frostbitten feet. They need to move. You're gonna die.
What?
You feel as if you stay in the cold too long that you're gonna die. There's nothing you can do,
Oh,
and there's to bring you back.
yeah, Zia's just gonna like start trudging, start feeling for warmth,
And
start
you
looking for
start
something.
You kind of look out, kind of seeking anything, and distantly you see the end of this glacier that you're seemingly on. You see the ocean. Further past it, you can see what looks to be land, but you know you're going to have to swim across that ocean first.
If this was a better time than ever to go streaking, I'll do it. I need to make this funny for me. This is for me.
No, I'm enjoying every moment of this. Please no.
Yeah, Z is just gonna do the full birthday suit, going streaking in the
So,
into the ocean.
so you dive into the ocean, and it is. If you thought it was cold on the glacier before, this is to a degree that you could not believe. You instantly feel all of your skin burn in the cold, and then immediately shut down, numb. Your muscles are locking up, cramping at the moment you enter the water. You can feel
fuck.
yourself beginning to drown.
Ah, fuck my hubris.
That's okay.
This is for me. Don't worry.
You can see that the current is not with you here. The waves are trying to dash you against the glacier behind you. And you know there's not much motion you have left to your hands or your arms.
Xenia thinks they're a strong bitch. They're gonna just keep trying and pushing against it, trying to find those good little holes to slip through and get forward.
And for a time, it's better than staying still. The motion of your arms, the paddling, the desperate breaching of the surface for air. You're not moving backwards. But the land is so far away. You hear a gentle voice, one you've only heard maybe once or twice before. The voice of Moonbow. Distantly singing over the waves. Crescent moon hanging in the air. You hear her singing of the struggles of immortality, the times when every step, every motion, though you know it's bringing you closer to whatever land you're seeking, to the afterlife, to rest, that there's always so much further to go, that you'll never truly get that chance to rest. And you hear singing from beneath the waves. You hear Lolth, a much deeper and resonant voice, as opposed to the high melody of Moonbow. You see her singing, telling you that there is an end, but you have to succumb to her. You have to let her carry you to the other side. You feel your muscles once more begin to lock up. What direction are you looking, Xena?
He's focusing on the waves, focusing on their present moment, and just, I need to help them now! I need to help whatever's coming next! I don't want to go! If they're not okay, I don't deserve my rest! I made a promise! I don't care about you and your fucking rest!
Just a bit more masculine. A slight bit. You hear Coralon singing almost within the waves, as if he were the motions. You see him telling you that, well, become the wind, become the glacier, become whatever you need to be to keep floating. Whatever comes next comes next. Don't worry about the land. The land will get to you eventually. You have time. Not as much time as you would, but keep going. Become something else.
I can be
This as an elf.
I can be the wind. I can push myself forward, and Zene's gonna try and like manifest themselves as you would as the breeze.
As you focus on the sea breeze, the cold, piercing air that ran so quickly across the great glacier, through your clothes, and seemingly through your skin itself, you hear this final single note. No, of no particular tune. And you can feel the eyes of the Raven Queen. Feel her arms wrapping around your shoulders.
Don't
Dear,
take me. I made the
has no memories. If you become the wind, will you ever be able to become an elf again? You are not mutable anymore. You are simply an elf.
I don't care about being the elf, the wind, whatever I am, it's to protect them. You all know the purpose of my soul now. It's none of yours. It's theirs. This promise was made long ago and it was destined to be made. As much as what I will create myself into anything to keep them and their lineages safe. I will be the wind. I will be the storms. I will be the person who could help save them, the person who could push them out of darkness. You are all just myself, just manifestations of me pushing myself forward to protect them. All I want is to protect them.
Hear Coralon's voice peek up again, but oh my dear, but what can the wind do to protect? You're not being the wind to protect them, you're being the wind to stay afloat. The wind is merely a force, it is not a creature. And you hear Moonbow's song pick up again. Only an elf, someone of capability, willing to toil, has the strength to fight and protect. The wind can do no such thing. Memories can only preserve what was. And if you succumb, you can protect no one.
Wind cannot protect. Sorry?
But please, struggle. Struggle, young elf. You have so many more lives ahead of you. Hear Lolth's call once more. Or you can complete your journey once. They are young of life. They have lived once, maybe twice, the lucky few of them. You can live one life with them as well. Let the future generations be.
Xenia's gonna stare down into the ocean and go, "You conniving bitch, you know what I said those months ago."
And you see the ocean floor almost seems to harden into these 4 ethereal white legs. One of them reaching out towards your ankle and wrapping around slowly. Come on.
Instead of the wind, Xenia's gonna manifest themselves back as themselves. Because you can only do so much as the wind, you can do more as a person. And keep swimming.
Your Bo's voice gets stronger. Yes, struggle. There will be no rest, but at least there will be journey. But you must struggle. I will give you peace when you have earned it.
Even when I earn my peace, I will choose to struggle for them.
Oh no, you misunderstand, my dear. When I tell you you are done, you will rest. That will be the end of you. That is the nature of an elf.
That is not the nature of my soul. I now see why Ashta doesn't like people like you.
You see Corlon kind of perk up once more. Oh no, my dear. I made your soul. I understand that you're confused right now, but
You.
seek us out. And you hear the voices all come together, all 4 of them. Why did you seek us out then, if your soul is yours?
As much as you use the people around you, you are all so blind to know when you are being used. As much as you give me the power, I am the one that manifests it. It comes from you, but I use it for what is currently saving and helping everyone around me. The gods are not my actions. I am my actions, and you can all fuck off.
Then you can see what your strength does alone. You feel the strength leave your limbs, and the ocean begins to pull at you. Deep into the depths and back towards the glacier. You see yourself land like a soaked kitten on the floor of Poseidon's palace. He looks thunderous, furious.
Don't tell me I've disappointed you too.
You summoned my brother into my realm, my domain.
I was trying to get to you. You, as a god, didn't make yourself reachable for the people who needed you. Is that where a lot of issues come from with the people around you?
I granted you an ally, and you brought my brother into my domain.
didn't bring your brother into shit. You're gods. You're the ones to choose to cross over into your domains. I'm just merely I'm merely a piece that tried to call you, you fucking asshole. I gave you my Pop-Tarts.
Then step down off of his throne. He kneels in front of you and takes your chin in his hand. Says, "You will watch your tongue, elf.
He spits on him.
Or I will show you what the Earthshaker will do to that land you so desperately swim for."
The earth may be shaking, but guess what, bitch? I'm on a floating island. You try and hurt me, you have a herd of people lining up to hurt you. And I won't be the one leading the charge. And that's a threat.
But you will be the last one left. I'll simply wait for them to pass before I come after you.
Oh, honey, if you leave me as the last one left, they'll be back over and over and over again. Until you're whittled down into a puddle. I am no longer scared of gods. The gods should be scared of me.
And he smiles, and for a second he disappears. The first thing you feel again is warmth. You find yourself sitting once more in the Hall of Hades. He just looks down at you, still writing in his ledgers.
What's up, number 6?
He raises an eyebrow and just... "You're here again?"
Apparently, your fraternal conflict is my fault?
He looks down at the book he has, and he says, "Oh, I thought you were here to bring them back again."
Oh, well, if they're dead, yeah.
"Please, take a seat, Elf." Well, Xenia, I suppose. We're
Do I
familiar.
Yeah, we've become pretty familiar now. Come on, I need my friends. I swore this is what my soul's used for, buddy. We've been here enough time. Chop chop.
Just looks at you blank. "Take a seat."
Okay, I'll take my fucking seat. Am I still naked? Oh my god!
I said when you were on the glacier that you were in a smock.
Xenia asked
Oh,
out
thank
loud in
God.
the tent.
Am I still naked? I don't know if Xenia stripped or not in real life, so we'll find that out later.
We'll get to that. In the meantime, Hades looks down upon you and just... "You know this is not easy on their souls. Crossing over again and again will slowly destroy them. They will never find peace if you keep doing this.
But
Go.
they're willing though, right? They want to come out.
They want to come back for you.
They want to.
know- Call them that they trust you. They don't know what's best for them. They're self-destructive. They don't understand. Death is the natural state of being for souls.
Dude, you do know that like all but one of them guarantee reincarnate, right? None of them are going to be dead for long. And you know, we can make that decision as a group. I don't want a fucking god telling us what to do. I can have a conversation with those living bodies again, and we can decide as a collective. You, as well as every single other god who's spoken to me today, who's been a cunt, by the way. Y'all can fuck right off.
Just looks at you, patiently, seemingly. We've been through this before.
Yeah, and we can go through it again. Give me my fucking friends back. I can talk through our little dealio with them. If they want to pass on next time, we can let them pass on. But this time, they want to come back for whatever fucking reason they want. You bring them back. You let them feel love. You let them feel that trust, and you should know that you should let them trust me to be able to talk to them about what their souls are turning into, and we can decide that as professionals and as friends and as loved ones. A god should not be the one making that entire whole decision. And besides, if you were the one making that decision, you could just bar me from getting their souls. But we're not about to do that, are we?
If you speak against me in that manner again, then yes, I will. And
I'll
you
be
will
res-
never see them again, and they will never reincarnate without my leave.
None of them followed Hades. Why are you in charge of this, you ass? Like, none of them.
I'm the god who controls the dead.
There's like 4 more of those and like a couple other pantheons. Like, get in line, butter.
And I control your friends. So if you wish for them to come back, I will listen.
Oh, I've been listening the entire time, but I'm still talking.
No, you have not.
Yes.
You have thrown a tantrum.
Oh, this is not a tantrum. You should see a tantrum.
I have seen your tantrums. I have seen the rages, the death you have caused as each of them died. Time and time again. The desperation to bring their souls back to their bodies, and each time you come to me, demanding their souls back like it is your right.
Kind of is my right. That's what my soul is used for, actually.
He sighs, and I will give you one last chance to stay quiet and listen before I bar you from them.
Fine, I'll zip my lips, buddy.
When will you let them go?
When they want to go.
When will you let them be at peace? You know that if you ask them to come back for eternity, fighting the same battles, fruitlessly trying to kill gods, that they will come back every time. And each time, it will tear a piece out of their soul until there is nothing left. So when will you let them rest? What is your limit? These are the rules of this last revival. When will you decide, with your minute powers over life and death, to be done, to let them go, and move on to the next generation? Speak.
Oh, you're letting me talk now. Once again, I'll let them go when they want to let go. I'm the dumbest out of them, remember this. So I feel like their call can be as much their call as they want. They've told me no before, you realize that, right? So I'm okay with being told no and letting them go. They don't want to go right now, and I'm not one to dictate shit. They can ruin their souls all they want. I can heed their warning. I can give them that warning, and they can make the choice. Even though I'm 100 years older than them, I have no right to make that fucking choice for them.
Senior.
I'm no god, and gods shouldn't make decisions for their people.
It has been thousands of years, and you keep bringing them back.
Because they want to be brought back.
Because you ask them.
Don't ask shit.
They will do anything for you, including to let you destroy their afterlife. You
Buddy.
don't have to worry about that. You have elven gods to bring you back. This is why I protect the dead. Because people like you would let them have no peace. To bring them back in perpetuity to solve the world's problems because you miss them.
I would like to
accept loss.
I would like to manifest Hades' head exploding. Fuck this guy.
You try and he just kind of shakes his head. He takes out this stamp off his desk. Request denied. And stamps on the paper.
I'm gonna stop the stamp while it's going.
If you reach out, or are you just reaching out? Like, what are you doing?
I am going in between the stamp in his hand.
He stops before it crushes your fingers. What? Before you were wise enough to plead to me, to ask, you have grown arrogant. Why should I give you any chance? You are mortal. Long living, but mortal.
I can let go. You're not getting it through your head. You're just repeating stuff over and over, and it's pissing me off. I'm gonna be arrogant as much as I fucking want, because yeah, I brought them back. Cool, it's been thousands of years. Once again, they're not coming back for me. I don't know if this is something you're just not understanding about who these people are fundamentally, or who I am fundamentally.
Would you like to see what their afterlife looks like?
I would actually very much like to. You should have offered that earlier on, because now you've been a squibbling bitch. I don't like you.
You don't have to like me. No
Okay.
one likes us. But look. And he gestures across to a fireplace. As you look through the grates, you see Ashton Rosalind. There's this. You know, as someone who, in this apparent vision, is alive. They're living in a sort of landscape of their own creation, one that was created for them to live in their afterlife. You see Ashton Rosalind seemingly quietly playing chess. Ashta, not wearing armor. You see the old mantle behind them in this small cabin out in what looks to be the Feywild. You see Essence hung up, that you know to be inert. One of the last things he did before he died. Released her soul. You see the gold bracelets of a demigod hung by the front door. Ones that you know that every time you revived him, he's taken and put in his arms to give him the strength to kill the demigods. You see Rosalind calmly playing with Thorn. You see Thorn keep seemingly trying to get behind Ashta, trying to distract him, and the two of them laughing. Ashta more reserved, but still freer than you've seen him in life. And as the vision shifts, you see Esther sitting with her family. Fervus there as well. Fervus is tinkering away, making potions and little amazements to what seems to be multiple generations of Genasi, some of which seem to be Esther's kid, some of which seem to be Esther's great-great-grandchildren. You see Garila happily reading a book by the fireplace. Esther playing with the children, every once in a while taking a seat at a table to discuss with the siblings of hers. All seems to be peaceful. They're just enjoying their afterlife with the people they cared for most. You see in the distance of this little dreamscape with Esther and Fergus, Ashton Rosalind's cabin. Not too far away. Small walk. You see a little sepulchre. A temple of what looks to be of originally one god, but repurposed for another multiple times over. With a small golden reserved sign sitting on the front gate. Just off in the distance of those two areas.
They're so happy.
They have fought enough. They have sacrificed everything for the material plane.
But I can never be there with them.
No. That is the weight of the promise you have made. Your soul is dedicated to the next of them, not to them. So please, Senya.
They're waiting for me.
And they will wait as long as they need to.
They're gonna be waiting forever.
until something
I-
changes with the gods. Yes.
I'll never see them again. I can't let them go.
Such is the destiny you've sworn to yourself. You promised to
I
protect what comes next, not what was. You made that promise when you gave up the Raven Queen's memories. You promised the ability to change. You gave up Loth's soothing promises of demise. You gave up impermanence. You gave up Coralon's musings. And you bound yourself to ability and struggle. You picked up Moonbow's strength. So tell me, why do you defy me? I have done for them what they have earned. I cannot give it to you. I don't want to keep you from my realm. This is the destiny you swore to yourself.
I'll never get to say goodbye.
You've said goodbye dozens of times.
Not the right ways.
There is no right way. It is simply done. That is death.
I have to let go.
Eventually. But you see in Rosalind's cabin, in Ashta's cabin, the children are still alive. They have a promised protector who they were told stories about through their entire childhood. And they're adults now, making change. Esther has a great number of great-grandchildren. Fervis lives on through Esther's children. He did not want a next of kin.
And I'll have the children tell them I say hello.
And what do you say? To never seeing Fervis again. There is no next of kin. Your promise to him is complete.
I promised many more than just them.
And who will you protect in his stead, in all of their steads when the bloodlines eventually fade, or dilute enough to be no longer recognizable?
I don't know. I'm not thinking the centuries and millennia down the line. I have my lineage, they have their own. I put my soul towards following each lineage and making sure they're safe.
You see him actually turn you away from the fireplace grate, and he's sitting at your height. You're sitting in a full-size chair, and he's kind of kneeling so he's eye level with you. I am no enemy, Xenia. I want you to fulfill your promise to the other gods, who in your rage and grief have sworn off. Who will you protect when you can no longer follow their bloodline? Who will your next lives protect?
I haven't met them yet.
But that is okay.
Whoever follows in our stead. Not in terms of blood, but in terms of legacy.
In terms of spirit,
There will be people like us again. I know it, and I will find them. Whether they be connected to us or not, I will choose them.
and that is the beauty of this incarnation of the plane. People were allowed to die. The planes were allowed to separate. Because you cannot change the nature of people. And for those of us lucky enough to persist, we honor them, not who we've lost. So, will you work with me? Let them go? Make amends with your gods to gain the strength to protect what comes next?
Xenia's gonna turn back to the grate and goodbye, my friends, my loves.
And you
I
see
love
for
you.
just a moment, that reserved sign disappears. And
Oh.
the temple begins to knit itself back together. And you see from what, nothing. And suddenly, you're walking out of the temple. You can feel within you that time has passed. Tens of hundreds of thousands of years. You hear Hades' voice. And you are free.
And I'm home.
And with that, the hallucination ends.
Can we take 5 minutes?
Yep.
I've been crying for the past 15.
I've
Yep.
got some
I
tears
set it
too.
up so in between there's a break.
Ah.
Go ahead. Take a break. I'll be right back.
Ha. In this session,
Good tears,
we
Tyler.
cry.
Good cheers, Tyler. It's fine. The sobs from Xenia were not controlled.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you guys are on. Mine was great.
Shut your mouth.
Y'all having fun over there?
Purvis is up at the castle having no idea how many people are crying in this tent when it all clears up.
Yeah, he's just working on his thing so he can resolve his own demon, in a very literal sense.
I'm so happy for every word I said during that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I feel that was one of the best things I fucking said.
Mm-hmm.
Everything hurts, and I won't stop crying until session ends.
Hi. I have been crying for the last 10 minutes. I want you to know that the line that broke me was Xenia just in defeat, just going, I can't let them go.
Yeah, that was
Gone. Gone.
That was
Fucking
spicy.
gone.
I was already crying by that point. I'm glad you were able to join me on that.
Oh.
Yeah. Ariel, I thought I brought it up to you a few times. Xenia and Rosalind have the exact same fucking fear.
Uh-huh.
It's, like, impressive.
Yep. It's just
Oh,
in
yeah.
the perfect opposite direction. Xenia fears reincarnating and losing the friends because of that, extended reincarnated life, etc. Rosalind is like, everybody else is gonna have another go, another chance.
I've had this mental breakdown as Ty before.
He.
I feel like I need to let something out after session.
Oh, yeah, that was something else, bro.
I don't know what came over me. I'm sorry.
No,
Okay.
that was fucking awesome.
There's something wonderfully representative of Xenia the whole time trying to fight before actually sitting down for the conversation. Just unwilling to get to that point.
Conrad, you know who I am as a person, right?
Well, yeah, there's something very symbolic about that.
Also, I got to sass gods, and now I like Ashley even more. I didn't realize how much Ashta had rubbed off on Xenia until the point of like them going, you realize I'm using you, right? To every god in the room.
Yeah. I love that out of character you had the exact same kind of revelation that Xenia did.
Deific means
What do you
to
mean?
an end.
Conrad, I want you to elaborate on that when we're not recording, because you're gonna make me cry again.
No, that was it. Just I love that the whole point of the in session, like in character ceremony is revelations about yourself and your own character. That's what happened. That's all.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, Ty, that's probably a part of the way that if Ashta ended up as cleric, paladin, any of the warlock, any of those ones, it'd be probably part of the way where it's no, we had a deal and you're giving me power and I'm using that for something else. I've got no allegiance to you here.
The thing is with Xenia, their connection to the gods that they want to boink them.
That too.
Nothing about being religious. I've shown multiple times, and it's including the druid. Xenia never was a vegetarian. I've shown Xenia to be their own person a lot.
Mhm.
And this is very fundamental in their thing of, sure, you guys give me power, but I'm the one that uses it. Fuck all of you in particular. It was also very funny. I got to make people laugh during that.
Mhm.
And then cry.
Mhm.
You're welcome.
Holy fuck.
Wow.
Look, all I know is Sky handed me a gun to shoot all of you with, and you all
Yeah.
handed me the bullets.
I took it, and
Did I?
Sky gave me the context of this, and I went, fuck yes, because I knew you were gonna go with this leg of it.
Meanwhile, you handed me a gun a while back, and I just shot myself in the foot 6 sessions ago, 7, 8.
Yep, and then you basically went and I'm good with that. I don't need any more. So,
Was neat.
You know what happens when you shoot yourself in the foot in the army? You heal up for a couple of months, and then you're forced to come back. That's what's happened to Ashta.
That you get
Sorry.
discharged?
yeah, depends which army. So,
Odds are, though, once you're healed, you will get sent back.
Don't heal.
next
Heal.
up.
The foot.
I told the line with that one. I
Trying
fucking
again.
told the
I'll
line.
give it another minute. It's okay.
We're
There
trying
goes
again
those-
to have pain.
There goes those pun tendencies.
It wasn't even a good
Uh,
one, but I don't care.
Damn, Devin, you really nailed that one.
Don't like any of you, and
Like
I'd
the
like to
fucking
go.
Romans.
Felt it right in the soul, didn't you?
All of you. Look,
I quit. This is my last session.
Come on,
That's where
guys.
she
guys.
went.
Okay. I'll start towing the line. I'm sorry.
This is being rather callous of us at this point.
I quit.
guys, let's stop. Pause for a second.
Hmm?
Let's put the shoe on the other foot,
Hold your tongues, all of you.
and we'll take a step forward. So,
I
um,
I
This
quit.
quick jam we've gotten ourselves in, huh?
Conrad, write me out of the script. I quit.
oh fuck! I wish there was a script. It'd make this so much easier. So next up,
Jeez, guys, stick your foot in your mouth.
I'm gonna
Like-
eat all for a second.
I'm considering things. I'm
I'm just gonna pet my cat till you guys are done.
I'm done. I'm ready.
I'm good.
Let me
Okay.
suppress visceral rage. And I feel like
Wait,
Devin.
wait. Hold on. I got one more. Shoe pun. Okay, I'm good.
I know how Devin feels now constantly.
Hey, you asked for a break.
Get a lot of sympathy for me here, huh?
Yeah, Devin.
So next we turn to Tinstook. Tinstook, you feel the drugs take hold.
Oh, here we go.
In front of you, there's this very sudden jump of a mink jumping towards your face.
Oh, whoa. Hey there, little buddy. Little excited there.
You see it kind of twisting in your hand, nibbling at your fingers.
Oh, that's a good little buddy.
And then for a moment, you see the kind of light in its eyes get brighter and brighter, like lightning about to strike.
Uh-oh, that's not a good sign.
And something is gonna come from this in a second. And it's not gonna be fun. And you feel this fear begin to overtake you, this need to act.
Nope, I turn the mink around in my hands and I point its eyes somewhere else.
And as you do so, the lightning shoots into this like brick wall that was separating you from your friends. And you see them once more sitting in that hut. Not too far away.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
The mink kind of jumps out of your hand and runs towards the entrance it's now created in the wall. Kind of looks back at you.
Yeah, sure. And I'll head over to the entrance. But that was easy.
As you do so, very suddenly you feel this hand grab you by the ankle from behind.
Boy! Look down. Look back.
There's nothing behind you, seemingly.
Must have been a root. I'll keep walking.
The distance keeps getting further for a moment. Until you feel that kind of creeping, like something's getting closer behind you. You feel something, again, like this creeping sense that something is behind you.
Right. Stop. Turn around. Hands on hips. Alright, who's playing the shenanigans?
You sound like my grandmother.
Oh my god.
The accent is very different, but yes.
Yeah, I can't keep it right now.
Um,
It's gone.
I meant compared to Ty's grandma, don't worry.
Okay.
I was thinking Grandma Kurtz.
Sure.
You see Tornuk behind you, looking
Oh, hey, Dor.
Either.
confused.
How you doing?
He
I feel confused.
fuck up.
Put him in here.
I spoke for Ashton before. I'm speaking for Tornuk.
But this one's more fun.
I'm gonna mute you. He kind of looks off in the other direction from where the mink is kind of waiting for you. And you see this like storm cloud of foliage, like a forest filled with lightning in the other direction. And he kind of takes your hand and starts to pull you towards that.
Oh, hey, do we not have to go the other way? You know, all the others are right back there.
And he kind of tugs your hand a bit more insistently.
Well, okay. Now follow my brother.
And as you do so, there's this large tree at the entrance of the forest. And as you step beneath it, into the kind of threshold of the whole thing, this slowly creeping shadow rises in front of you. A thundercloud come to life, with these very angular, fey features, these long ears, drooping eyebrows, and lightning bolts for teeth.
Oh, I don't remember any of those. You don't look anything like either of the ones that I met before. You really gotta
Yes.
work on that, you know.
It smiles.
I think the mushroom tea might be a bit off.
It leaps towards you and like grabs you around the shoulders. You
Now
feel
punch it in the face.
And the dream disappears beneath you, as you're once more sitting beneath the tent.
Just looks around. That wasn't as satisfying as I thought it would be. It wasn't even the right face.
Oh, how'd yours go?
Ah, some random thundercloud. It didn't even make any sense. It looked like it was trying to be a fae, but it was still a thundercloud. It didn't work.
Ah, what a jerk.
Yeah. Oh well.
I can run to the inner demons in a nice steak dinner.
Oh, that sounds nice. Did you say
Oh,
anything
yeah.
for me?
Dream really hard about it tonight, and maybe you'll get some.
No, I'll do my best. So, how's the rest of them going?
I think one of them was screaming about something.
Oh, that's not good. Do you think
You
we
can
should
see-
play some music to try and relax them a little?
I tried that, and they still said no.
Oh,
That was the Moonbow song.
That was the old song. You see Xenia like kind of weakly like pulling their clothes like away from their chest.
Oh no.
You see Rosalind like just quietly reaching out towards Ashta's hands with these like tears on her face.
Leans over. I think that one's having like a bar fight with a god. It's like the shirt's coming off. You know that. You know the saying.
oh yeah, I've heard her saying.
Joke's on you, they weren't even wearing a shirt.
And
They
finally,
were wearing this. Oh no.
You're having a Donnybrook.
you see Esther. Esther, this is most familiar to you of everyone else here. Every time you've come here, it's been a bit of a different landscape. The first time you were home in the desert. The time afterwards, you found yourself at one of the gatherings, but stuck with the exiles. Today, you find yourself by the ocean, which is odd. In this kind of in-character meta-narrative of the trip, you know that usually it's the person you want to confront, at least historically for you. So you just see your stepdad sitting by the ocean with his fishing rod out to sea. You're about 20 feet behind him, he hasn't seen you yet. It's close to sunset. Good time for fish.
She'll kind of call out, just, Dad?
He looks down at you and smiles and kind of pats the seat next to him. Come here. You busy?
I don't know.
Come take a seat till you figure it out.
She'll sit down next to him and just, why am I here?
What do you mean? It's up to you, isn't it? Were you looking for something?
To face what I haven't yet.
Well, maybe this is it.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, let's work it out. Hold on. He kind of puts the fishing rod on the sand. Let's break it down. What were you expecting? What should be here?
I don't know. Something that I'm still afraid of. Something that I have yet to face. Something that could help me overcome. Every other time it's been like that. I don't understand why you're here.
Just fishing. When was the last time you just kind of put your feet up? Relax by yourself?
I don't want to do that.
I mean, the fish are biting today. It's a great day to fish.
No. No, I'm needed. I can't rest yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Gabriel's handling Jade. You guys have finished that war or whatever you were fighting. The island seems to be relatively running. Rosalind's doing the administrative stuff, but she's doing okay.
I'm sorry, what? The war is over?
You did it. You're good. I know you still have all your powerful magic, but I'm sure you'll find something to do with it. But for now, let's just fish. Who knows? Maybe we'll fish up a vestige.
Esther's gonna look down at herself. Is anything different?
Not particularly. You do see at least what you imagine to be what the final vestige looks like on your body. You can feel the strength within you is greater than anything you've ever felt before. You feel the familiarity of your psionics also within reach. You have access to all of this. You kind of know intrinsically that it's been a couple years, Jade's older. She's learned to walk and talk and get a halfway decent control of her strength, and Garil's at home just taking care of her. We went to the library for a trip together. The island is a little bit far away, but it's being handled. Rosalind's got it covered. Xenia and Ash decided they wanted to go check out a bit of a celestial disturbance, but they said that the two of them would be more than enough. There's nothing really to do. No.
Well, there's nothing for me to do.
Guess there have to be.
I want there to be.
He smiles and kind of wraps his arms around your shoulder. Well, you know, you remind me of your mom sometimes. You two have always been a bonfire, or a firecracker. Energetic. But Garil's always been a kind of candle. Once he's got his fuel, there's no smoke, there's no crackle, there's no consuming, just this steady drip. There are still flames. You don't need to. You don't even need to provide that much heat or light. You can just be and burn. Look at the sunset. It's just there. There's no expansion. It's laying down for the night. You've got the strength of, if I had to guess in my very scientific knowledge, you've got the strength of the sun, but even it sets. It rests beneath the ocean for a while. Why do you feel like there's something else you need to do?
It's not over.
Oh yeah. It's on pause. Isn't that enough?
I don't know. And she'll sit down and just sit quietly and wait.
There's a moment where he kind of keeps an eye on you, just trying to read your mood. He seems to find what he's looking for and scoot his chair closer to you so you can rest his shoulder on yours and pick up the fishing rod again. You know, I never asked you before, and I think I should have. What do you want to do once the war's over? I know it's over now, but did you have plans? Things to get done?
I want to build the island. I want to watch my daughter grow. I want to see people learn. I want to open a home for all those who were displaced by the war. I want to see children who would have previously been lost be found. I want to be needed. Even if it's just by one person, I just want to be needed.
I mean, I can't speak about others, but I at least feel that you're wanted. Never mind needed. But once you do all that, all those things you wanted to get done, what comes next? When does the sun set?
When I grow too old to carry it. When my bones are too brittle and my skin is too wrinkled and my fire eventually dies. But even then, I hope that the embers that still remain will live on. But only then will I be done. I wouldn't want it any other way.
But by then, you won't be able to fish anymore. And I'll probably be gone. Right?
I'll see you wherever it is we go.
Well,
You can't
I'm
get
here
rid of
now.
me that easily.
I'm older than you think, Esther. I'm mortal, just like anyone else. And you know my mind's been going for a while. So sit with me. Enjoy yourself. Be present in the absence of others.
She kind of puts her head on his shoulder and just goes, okay.
You've had enough of flames and burning. Just glow. Provide the light that you have. And just let me enjoy it for now, if you really need to feel needed. Let's just say I need my daughter.
Okay,
Okay.
Dad.
He takes your hand, and you feel him rest his kind of temple against the top of your head. And you blink, and it's sunrise. You can feel the sun raising behind you. You must have fallen asleep. And he's still kind of resting against the top of your head. What do you do?
She'll I don't know. She'll just sit.
As you kind of yawn in the morning light and the fog of the morning, you can see he never seemed to have pulled the fishing line back in. And as you kind of complete the yawn, you feel him kind of roll off the top of your head, and you hear the sound of his back hitting the ground.
Dad? And she'll basically fall to her knees and just pull him up and shake him. Dad!
His eyes remain closed.
Dad! No. No, 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 no. No, you can't go. You can't. Can't go. No. No, no, no. No, no. No.
You see a little booklet sitting in his breast pocket of his shirt. Little embossed gold letters on the top.
She'll hold him close and slowly open the book with one hand.
Inside it just says glow. Glow and fly, my firefly. Both a
And
phoenix and a lightning bug glow in the night and fly in the air. One rests when the sun rises, one rests when the sun sets. But together their flame is eternal. So just glow.
and she
Be
just
your own light.
starts to sob and scream as she holds him and just cries.
An indeterminate amount of time passes. It could be days, years, months. But Garil and Jade eventually sit next to you. Garil kind of does his best to pry your cold and cramped hands off of his arm, his body. And he kind of tries to bring his eyes to meet yours and pull your head away from your father's face. Hey, 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 hey. Are you hurt?
No.
You feel Jade kind of crawl into your lap. She doesn't seem to kind of fully understand. She looks up at you and, shh, he's asleep. Quiet.
Yes. He's asleep. And she'll kind of stand, pick up her daughter, and just, let's go get him a blanket, okay?
Garil kind of walks with you, just behind you. As you kind of go into the cabin that you know was his. You find his blanket, you find a pillow. Jade goes and finds a little necklace that he always wore. You all bring it over to the body of your father. Jade puts the blanket under his head, puts the necklace over his neck. Garil puts the blanket over top of him. He kind of takes her hand, takes Jade in his other hand. Say a prayer with me.
Anything. Anything for him.
And as you two begin to pray, wishing that his thoughts will remain, his memories to remain alive within you. Jade just walks over to him and kisses him on the cheek. He just says, "Bye-bye, Grandpa. Make sure you fly somewhere happy."
He will. He's already there.
And Kirill kind of squeezes your hand and rests his forehead next to your ear. Just, you don't need to be strong. I'm here for you.
And she just breaks.
And as
She
the
just stops.
catharsis of the tears tries to reach you through the fear, the injustice of it all, the rage. You see the waves come up higher up on the beach. Eventually he floats, and he is taken away to the ocean, to where the sun set the night before. Do you know he's gone? There's no bringing him back. It's up to you what to do next without him.
She will look to her daughter and look to the wheel. Look towards the poem that she still holds in her hand. Begin to lead them back towards Averos.
And towards the island you go. Unsure of what to do next, you know you have nowhere calling upon you. but the island is still there. You can go wherever you'd like. And as you step onto the platform, that you now have the practice to guide yourself. Kirill hugs you close, holds Jade close to his hip. And the hallucination ends.
Holy fuck, Conrad. You got me ugly crying.
Of course!
Esther wakes up and there's two Firbolg hovering over her face, looking down like, oh, this one looks like a bad one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, no, like, she's
Oh, hey,
fucking
you're awake now.
sobbing.
Oh, you're still not, Are you
The
good?
tears,
Are you good with a hug?
your tears are kind of streaming off your hair there.
Because
So glad you accept the hug.
I give real good hugs. You are gathered
yeah.
up in a massive hug.
By now, looking around, you can tell Esther that you were the last person to wake up. It's time for the ritual. It's nearing its completion. You see the seer kind of sitting on her stool, just waiting, watching you to see if you're ready and cohesive.
Esther is, but give me 1 minute.
Can I lighten the mood?
Go for it.
You naked?
Cool.
Are they?
Up to you.
What do you do?
You're Xena, you tell me. Would Xena during that drug-fueled hallucination of strip?
You.
They start
I
doing
mean,
hallucinations, so
Take 20
we said
luck
we'll get to
roll.
that. Can I
If you
make a
want.
luck roll?
I mean, that would
Yeah,
be
you
a
can roll
thing.
that.
Because Conrad
Oh.
said I could make ability checks to decide things for myself as
So-
Rosalind
so-
and I
Yeah,
needed.
go for it.
So what do we think? High if naked or low if naked?
I would say
Well,
low.
Wow, you guys are assholes.
Do you want it to be high?
I'm
Oh
naked.
my god. I'm gonna say
Oh my
Rosalind
God.
hasn't actually noticed yet because she woke up and immediately her face was just buried in Ashta's chest.
Oh, Xenia's in tears, naked but in tears. I don't think they notice.
Yeah.
And slowly and carefully, with Asha being cursed with the highest passive perception, because the only other one is Xenia, is slowly puts a hand in the bag, grabs a camping like some sort of blanket from the camping, and just like it over across the room, still like patting Rosalind.
Why are you throwing things at me? What the fuck, Asha? Oh fuck!
Rayla just kind of floats by, and you hear whispering in your ear, Xena. Your nipples are out.
My what?
Your nipples are out.
They were out before. I came in here shirtless.
But like they're like all out.
That's not good.
I don't think Ashton likes your nipples very much.
That's something about Ashton I can learn to live with. Just cover up, and once covered up, like go and like just hug Ashton and Rosalind a little bit.
Cling back.
The seer kind of helps gather everyone together to this big group amalgamation of tears and sore
Hugs.
muscles.
Esther, through tears, is just gonna go, I told you it was going to do this. I warned you all.
I thought there would be a bit more fighting of demons, not this.
I have something to announce.
Personal demons, not literal demons.
I would
I mean, speak for yourself there, and he points to his sister.
I would
Oh
like
yeah,
to
I
announce.
did keep something
Wait, what did you talk?
Let
Sorry.
me speak.
I want to fight the gods now.
Asher doesn't like his face doesn't change, but you see there's a shift in the eyes. What?
I need to have a conversation with you later. I need to mess some things up.
And he's like, okay.
I'm so scared of dying, but I don't know if that made it better or worse.
I'm scared of all of you dying, and I don't know if that made this better or worse.
Wait a moment, did we all dream of each other dying?
No one's dying.
I don't want to lose any of you. Esther just hugs as many of you as she can.
Esther, I want to be honest with you. My entire stuff was about letting go and losing all of you. I'm sorry.
That sucks, because I'm not letting you go. Fuck off.
You're gonna be forced to let go, unfortunately. Hades told me so.
Oh, don't say
Aiden
that.
killed
That was
it.
mine.
No, he didn't.
What do you mean? Did you dream? No, Rosalind, you're good. You were happy with Ashta and mine. You guys had a little cabin.
Wait, what?
You were
I
happy.
was going to be alone.
Oh,
All of the rest of you had something else to become, to go to.
I was gonna be alone. You all moved on in your afterlives.
There's this like puzzled look on Ash's face, like looking between the both of them, like, wait. Okay, no, this is just dreaming, right?
But you were,
I
think
don't know.
I think there's a common thread here.
Rosalind, I think
also being alone.
you were happy with Ashta. You guys had a cabin. You were playing chess. Esther and Fergus visited.
I mean,
I was told I'd never see any of you again.
No, I was told I'd never see any of you again.
You all had moved on. You all were doing bigger and better things, and I couldn't keep up.
You were all dead, and apparently your souls would get broken if I kept bringing you back.
Then I
Sierra
give you
makes her way over to each of you, and so, as you know, Esther, but to reiterate to each of you, what you saw were not communications from the gods. They were not prophecies. They were what your mind decided you needed to see. People, great as each of you, have anxieties that they have difficulties letting go. It is what fuels many of you. She kind of looks at you, Ashton.
That's a call out.
And it obstructs others. She looks at you, Esther. But at some point, with the help of these drugs to relax you, to give you a sense of euphoria, people such as yourselves, after euphoria, you have come to expect trauma, fear, death. And so that is what your mind showed you. And each of you conquered it, or coped with it, in your own way. You were all stronger because of this. You can step forward with a self-awareness that you did not have before. And I hope it guides you to a greater next day. Now, I'm sure many of you are very hungry and very exhausted. So, I have prepared a breakfast for each of you. And if you would like, you can sleep here, or I have already asked someone to bring your transport stone. However you call it.
We call it
Bring
an
it.
elevator.
platform.
It's the lift.
The lift.
An elevator.
Yes, that was the primordial translation.
Yeah.
We switched between them.
First, though, breakfast. And she gestures towards a table that actually you saw her preparing, basically. And probably Tornuk helped once he snapped out of his thing.
I imagine he was like the first or second one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, he was definitely the first one out there. He didn't have to go through the trauma, he just had dinner.
Yep.
He might not actually even be hungry. And there is a delectable set of mostly Genasi foods, as well as the makings of Tornuk.
There might be a steak in there.
Oh, yeah. And she brings you each a tray, not even asking any of you to get up. Just leaves it by each of you so you all can kind of process at your own time. And I'm going to step out. You can each have your privacy. I thank you for trusting me to guide you with this. If you need me, just give me a call.
We will. Thank you.
Sick.
Is it? I don't know how long circumstances being what they are, we will have with each other, whether it's eternity or limited. I want to make the best of what we have.
I do too. I want. There may be a chance I may never see any of you again after everyone passes on, and I just want to live in that moment that we have right now.
Well, then we stay together.
We stay together.
Damn right.
Yes.
For as long as we can. And we face whatever comes together.
And anything. Ashta, how many times did I say whore in my...
It's all the head. It was under the breath. I couldn't make out the exact topic, but it was visceral.
Rayla just kind of whispers, 23.
Yeah.
You know who I need to find after this? I need to find my dad.
I need to admit things. I'm not a religious person.
We kind of guessed that.
There's a reason why I brought from Ashta.
You are literally a cleric, but on the other hand, I don't think I've seen you really pray much, so...
The only connection I have to gods is the fact that I wanted to fuck them before. Now,
Very direct.
There's a scrunch upon Ashta's face. Like, why would you ever do that?
That's
I think I had a weird power thing going on in my early hundreds that I needed to work out.
No, see, I get that. I understand.
Yeah,
The power
exactly.
dynamic. I understand.
There's a full power dynamic, like, and then I realized that I was the sexy top and all these gods can go fuck themselves. But in actuality, basically for me, I don't think I could feasibly manipulate a god, but the only word I can really think of is I manipulated 4 gods for their power so I could protect everyone here. My soul belongs to you guys. We went through this. Fuck those gods. I'll fight them.
I mean, they're all knowing, right? At least in regards to you. They'd be able to tell if you're doing that right away, and they wouldn't agree to it anyway if they weren't about it.
They agreed, but Ashta, I think I'm into the god punching thing. Even though it was my subconscious, I know gods can do that, and now I'm in the mood.
There's like a look of doubt in his eyes, like, okay, whatever you say.
I'm genuinely like they're not great. They're just people who have way too much power.
You're serious.
Yeah, I'm serious.
There's like a roll of like the tongue over the teeth, just like,
Yeah, I'm genuinely serious.
You know, as long as we don't kill the nice ones, I've always been down.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, if we can just make like a list of who we want to like take out and like do like a bit of a Venn diagram thing.
There's a quick faint over. It's like, let's keep it to this one.
It's just gonna fan back. Like we can make a Venn diagram. We can have like the Fane save it for later. We can cross stuff off the list. I'm fine with it, bro. Like
We can make a fucking Google Doc!
can make a Google
Out of
sheet.
character. I don't know how to explain to you that you can't kill a god.
In character.
Can we kick their ass until they cry?
Maybe your campaign. That's image.
In character, Xenia's a himbo. We've been through this.
I just
John.
want to reiterate because I think I accidentally pushed you closer to trying to kill a god.
Number one, you did.
Again, can we
Don't
spank
worry,
them till they
Ty.
cry
Killing
and say
gods is a
sorry?
plot point in my campaign.
Possibly.
Okay,
John,
you
ever
know what,
so
that's
casually.
that's a good second because like I'm trying to think like God's social death works just as well.
Yeah, we can embarrass them. We
If
can
we can
make
send them home to mommy, that'll work just as well.
we
Oh
can
my
make them
God.
piss their pants.
Can I please shame a god like I did to Halkarim? Can I please?
Can I kink shame Zeus?
Yeah, like if
Probably not.
You horny son of a bitch! What the fuck is wrong with it? Oh my god!
like if we can just bully gods, like if we can like just like if we can give Zeus like an atomic wedgie.
I want to give him a noogie.
Can we please? Okay, can I just say, I love John casually plugging his own campaign, just like you might not be able to do that in this one,
Wink.
but in mine.
Wink.
You just
Cheap
look at
plug.
Ashton
Cheap
and
plug. Yeah, that's me.
look at Ashton and just go, but I get it now. I really do.
It's maybe understandably stressful when people you care about go inviting them.
Yeah, I didn't realize how dickish a lot of them could be.
Yeah.
I think you did if it was something coming from your own mind.
I think I didn't want to accept it. Like I didn't want to accept that I may never see any of you again, and you're all going to be in your own separate afterlives, and I'll never truly die because of the role I made for myself.
Alright, enough. No more of that.
We can plan that later.
It's
I love
just.
I love all of you.
I love all
I
of
love
you.
you too.
Say it back, you bitch.
And
Ashta.
I love all of you.
You're just gonna tackle him in a hug.
Same.
He's still in his armor.
Doesn't
I have
matter.
+7 strength.
Ashta?
They make a fair point.
I'll assume this is pre-Zine Jackal. Yeah.
Oh, it could be after.
All right.
I think
It's on the
afterwards.
floor. And
Ashta, yeah.
Exactly that.
yes.
Like hitting a hammer on tinfoil.
Yeah.
Ashta, I want to spend my life with you. And I don't know if it's a bad time to say that, but I do. And I thought of that, and whatever comes.
There's like a long like blink and just like
If you'd be willing. I'm not asking anything formal, I'm not asking anything right this moment, but I want
But
my
the sentiment's
intentions to be
there.
clear.
And he like and because there's the he knows there's the shock there, he shoves Xenia off.
Oh, Esther is still gripping on to you.
Yeah, Zeke is still gripping. Doc is making the grip tighter.
You cannot tell. Come on.
I +7 to strength. Get fucked.
Esther, you know what? For the sake of Ashta, Esther's gonna release him and then proceed to hug Rosalind and just. Did you just propose?
Not exactly. I
There's
didn't
a
do
gauntlet
what I
over
love
Esther's
it.
hand.
I don't
Over
exactly
Esther's
have.
mouth.
I don't exactly have a ring. I don't exactly have. I didn't
Oh,
want to
give me
leave it.
words.
I didn't want
You
to leave
guys-
it be until who knows when. I wanted to say
Rosalind.
something. Yes.
You hear a whisper from the Thane. We can always imagine near one.
Doesn't count. It'll be
Takes a
gone.
ring.
It'll be gone in a day.
He takes a quartz ring that they've had since the beginning of the campaign and give it to Rosalind. Do it.
No,
We-
not this, not here,
Rosalind,
not like
do you want to
this.
go for a walk?
Yes.
Perhaps not after a drug trip in which you broke down your soul.
Exactly.
know what?
I just
No.
we'll be back.
You guys go propose. We'll be here.
Okay. Xenia,
Yeah.
I have come to 3 revelations over the course of these last several hours. One, I'm terrified of death, but I understand that it is inevitable, and I need to spend the rest of my life doing things that at least in some way will cause me to have satisfaction when I finally go.
Uh-huh.
Number 2,
Yes.
I am not useless. And I
No.
will spend the rest of my life filling my days with things that will aid and fill me, again, satisfaction. Whether that be fishing with my dad or building a school.
Correct. I will say, from at least Gareel's perspective and my perspective of being your fake girlfriend for 5 seconds about 8 months ago, kind of sexy too.
And number 3,
Yes.
she looks towards Xenia and goes, I have been in love with one person since I was 5 years old,
Correct.
and I plan to do something about it.
Go propose to Gareel now too, then. Do you want my ring? Rosalind didn't take it.
We don't propose with rings, but thank you.
Oh, I should have really given it to Rosalind then.
Should've.
Rosalind wants to find her own.
Valid.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Rosalind
Um,
takes a pomegranate and makes it into a ring.
If you
No.
can you
But
get
great.
Can you get Sammy down here? If you're going out.
Honestly, give me a minute.
3 consecutive proposals.
I
Hell
feel like
yeah.
I knocked over a domino.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's the thing.
So,
You
in the
got-
meantime,
you got to it before I could. That's the thing.
I'm just,
in
in the
also,
meantime, Ashta, as you get up to go take your walk with Rosalind, you don't feel Rayla in your pocket.
And as he walks, he's like, "You got damn right, you're not there."
Oh dear.
And as you kind of notice with your 21 passive perception, she is absolutely fucking zooted sitting next to the pot of tea.
Oh no!
And she
It
just goes,
hasn't been dosed!
and she goes, "Is this a bad time to mention that I got curious about 20 minutes ago?"
Layla.
There's a pause at the doorway.
I'll
zooted.
get this. I'll deal with it. I'm a cleric. I think.
Rosalind, send Thorn. He has blind sight. He can tell if she tries to invisible away.
Cast here.
Thorn is
purify,
babysitting a pixie.
As you get close, Esther, Rayla just goes, "No, no, no. Let it happen.
Rayla, how much
gonna-
did you drink?
I'll watch the high.
Let it happen.
He's
I
gonna
am
watch.
far more experienced than any of you here in Hallucinogen."
Say
Let it
that.
Not gonna lie, her tolerance is much higher than you would think. That does not make this okay, but just as the reassurance.
I'll watch her. You guys go. Have fun.
One of the first therapies we went to is she was matching shots with me. Anyways,
She gets up, she stands on the little step stool of a tea cozy that she's standing on, and she goes, "And thank you." And then she like bends over to bow, she just like fucking topples off the top and lands on her back, looking up with a blissful look on her face. Absolutely fucking boinked. And that's what we're gonna end the session for today.
Oh my
Okay.
Oh.
We're all proposing next week.
We gotta
Yeah,
get Elder
yeah.
Farron taken out first. Honestly,
Yeah,
he needs to go
Elder
down.
Farron needs to be dealt with.
Yeah.
Elder Farron needs to be
And
dealt with.
then we'll do
So-
the
Okay,
mushy
let me
stuff.
edit the stuff through.
Yeah.
That's where we're gonna end session for today.
Okay.
last request.
We're gonna end
Last things.
Can Thorn be like in a circle like a beanbag for Rayla to be lying in?
I love the
Sure.
idea.
He wraps
I
around her
love the idea.
afterwards.
We're
like
gonna
a
end the
pillow.
session right now.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
like, "What you guys want to do
There's
today?" I don't
always
know.
a rush.
Dead. The session's over.
Remember.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
Uh.
Alright, until next time.
Till then.
Good night.